Okay, check 1 2. I do have audio, and we got video, so we have a stream. Let's jump into the game. Let that pick up some video real quick, and then check my sites. And make sure I'm capturing... Oh, that's actually pretty quick. There's not a lot of lag there. Okay, well, I'm capturing the desktop, so I should be capturing the game whenever I hop in. Okay, so I'm playing EVE Online. We got some rundown to do here. Number one, I'm streaming on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and on Kick. Now, I'm going to be turning YouTube and Twitch off partway through this stream because, one, I want to give Rumble and Twitch a chance, those channels a chance to build up a little bit. I'm intrigued by them. I don't have a very large audience though, so that I'm expecting minimal results there. But the other thing is that YouTube in particular, but also Twitch, give me kind of grief over copyrighted music and stuff like that, whether it belongs to the game or not. And so I don't want to deal with that. And so I'll be switching to Rumble and Kick exclusively later in this stream. So that said, let's X out these options here. And I want to bring up EVE Survival. There we go. Oh, site can't be reached. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's up. All right. Signal's looking good. All right, that's excellent. I have recently tweaked my router settings, and I think that fixed the problems I was having. Okay, so beginning with the rundown now. I am in a T2 Rocket Hawk. This is built this is after an Ace-Face design designed for Abyssal running up to, I think, Abyssal 3. But I tried that before and I lost 2 ships. And one was because I just didn't know what I was doing. And the second one, I can't remember what the first one was. I think I fitted it wrong or something. The second one was because I couldn't catch or get away from targets, and that had to do with pilot skills. So my Omega guy, whom my uncle purchased for me, has been training skills for months now, because I haven't played this game in months. And his skill queue was getting close to going empty after training for I had like 58 days of skills twice in a row loaded up, if memory serves, and I needed to hop in and queue up again, and I ended up playing it a little bit. This just happened today, and I was like, oh, you know what, I'm kind of having some fun with it. So I queued up some more skills, and they if you notice, these are like mission running type stuff. This is negotiation, social, diplomacy, all that stuff loaded up. It's another 48 days worth of skills. But in the interim, here's where my guy is at right now. I am Caldari, so I'm shield focused. So I have 2 tier 2 in hull upgrades, level 5 though in mechanics, level 2 in repair systems. Drones, I don't even know why I have drones. There's probably something in the training that I did that required these to get put into training, but you can see tier 1 in drone avionics, tier 2 in drones, and tier 1 in light drone operation. For engineering, look at this, man. Tier 5 in advanced weapon upgrades, tier 5 in CPU management, tier 5 in capacitor management, tier 5 in cap systems operations, tier 5 in electronics upgrades, tier 5 in energy grid upgrades, tier 5 in power grid management, and tier 5 in weapon upgrades. I've never had a character with that kind of training before, and so that's going to do a lot for me when it comes to fits. Fleet support. See, looks like I'm tier 3 in leadership, gunnery, Tier 2 in controlled burst, Tier 4 in gunnery, Tier 2 in motion prediction, Tier 2 in rapid firing, Tier 2 in sharpshooter, Tier 3 in small hybrid turret, nothing in surgical strike, and Tier 1 in trajectory analysis. I am going through this one by one and reading it out loud, partially also for my own benefit. Because I'll tell you, one of the downsides to this for me is I play this game sporadically, and so I feel I kind of miss out on the sense of progression. And instead, my guy tends to take leaps forward between the times that I played him and then my hiatus, and then I play him again. So a lot of this stuff, I don't feel like I'm going to be able to appreciate it because I don't know the game well enough. But in missiles, I am Tier 4 in light missile specialization, Tier 5 in light missiles, Tier 3 in missile bombardment. Does that just cover missiles? Yeah. Tier 5 in missile launcher operation, Tier 3 in missile projection, Tier 5 in rapid launch, Tier 5 in rocket specialization, Tier 5 in rockets. That's really nice because I'm using rockets. Tier 3 in target navigation prediction, Tier 3 in warhead upgrades. All right, pressing out of navigation. Oh, look at this, man. Across the board. Tier 5 in acceleration control, afterburner, evasive maneuvering, high-speed maneuvering, navigation, and warp drive operation. This is what got me killed the last time I was out. But I made enough money in the interim where I went on and I played a little bit, but I didn't stream. And I raised enough money today I bought a new Hawk and outfitted it. I had enough money sitting in my account, like more than enough. But this right here, around here, and either this one or this one were the reasons that I got caught and destroyed. I think the first time. The second time, I believe I flew out of bounds, like past the red wall of the abyss, and didn't realize it in time and couldn't make it back before my ship blew up. And then that's whenever I basically quit EVE for a while. Okay, so that's navigation. Neural enhancement, Tier 5 in biology. What's that do for me? 20% bonus to attribute boost or duration per skill level. Okay. Not that I use those very often. Tier 5 in cybernetics, and Tier 1 in infomorph psychology. What does that mean? Strengthens pilot's mental tenacity, reality of having one's consciousness detached from one's physical form, scattered across the galaxy, and then placed in a vat-grown clone. Can be very unsettling to the untrained mind. Allows one jump clone per level. Okay. Note, clones can only be installed in stations with medical facilities or in ships with clone vat bays. Installed clones are listed in the character sheet. Now, this is something that I don't really have a full grasp on. I know that it used to be one way and now it's a different way, and I'm really hope that I haven't purchased any clones, and if I get potted, I have a lot of skills that I'm hoping I don't lose, but I'm not really sure how it works now. Nothing in planet management. Looks like I got one in industry from the production tree. Resource processing, I'm Tier 4 in mining, Tier 3 in mining upgrades, Tier 4 in reprocessing, Tier 3 in reprocessing efficiency, Tier 3 in salvaging, and Tier 3 in simple ore processing. Then we got rigging, Tier 3 in jury rigging, and Tier 5 in launcher rigging. What's this do for me, by the way? Working industry allows makeshift modifications, required learning for further study in the field of rigging. There's got to be some other training books that I can buy. Otherwise, there's no reason to go to Tier 5 here because there's only this skill and I've already maxed it out. This doesn't look like it brings any benefit to the pilot at all in fitting or in piloting the ship. It's simply a gateway skill. And I met the requirements, and then I maxed out the one skill I have. So I'm assuming there are other rigging skills that I can purchase. All right, scanning. Tier 1 in archaeology, Tier 1 in astrometric acquisition, Tier 1 in astrometric range finding, Tier 3 in astrometrics, Tier 1 in hacking, Tier 3 in survey. Science, I am Tier 4 in science. What's that do for me? 5% bonus to blueprint copying speed per level. Not bad. Okay, shields. This is important for me. I have nothing in EM shield compensation at the moment. EM for shield bonus to EM resistance per level for shield amplifiers. Okay, I am at Tier 2 shield This is the next block I'm going to be working on after I get through this. But Tier 3 in shield compensation. Nothing in shield emission systems. Tier looks like 2.5. Like I'm partially started here. It's probably not half. And shield management. Tier 3 in shield operations. Tier 5 in shield upgrades. And Tier 2 in tactical shield manipulation. Social is what I've got queued up right now. The only thing I'm not working on is criminal connections, because that's irrelevant for my guy at the moment. Spaceship command, I'm Tier 3 on assault frigates, Tier 3 on Caldari destroyer, Tier 5 on Caldari frigate, Tier 1 on Caldari hauler. Nothing on Galente destroyer, nothing on Galente frigate, Tier 4 on mining frigate, and Tier 3 on spaceship command, which I believe has to do with maneuverability or, yeah, agility for all ships per skill level. 2% improved ship agility, okay. Nothing in structure management, nothing in subsystems, targeting, nothing in gravimetric sensor compensation, but Tier 2 in long-range targeting, Tier 2 in signature analysis, and Tier 3 in target management. And then I have something in trade, looks like Tier 1 in marketing and Tier 2 in trade. So that's a snapshot of where my guy is at. He is a far cry from where he was. A lot of Tier 5 skills maxed out compared to where he was at. So I'm feeling good there. Now, the thing is that I haven't played the game in quite a while, so I don't want to go just hop right into an abyss. And I might not even do that at all today. Instead, I want to play around with missions to sort of get back into how things work. There's a lot of stuff I've forgotten. So, let me take a look at something. Why do we have so much blurriness going on? Oh, because I'm really close to the ship. Okay. I see. Down, down, down. There we go. I guess we should look at the fit real quick. All right, you'll notice that CPU and power grid are real close. 0.9 left on CPU, 0.6 on power grid. And I have really outstanding skills, so this is a really tight squeeze. But I have small bay loading accelerator 2 and small EM shield reinforcer 2 for the rigging. I have rocket launcher 2s, 4 of them, loaded up with Scourge Rage rockets, which are Tech 2. All of that's Tech 2, the launchers and the missiles. These are Tech 2. Down here we have Tech 2 ballistic control systems. And then over here I've got a Tech 2 afterburner. I've got a small C5L compact shield booster. What's that? Yeah, it's a shield booster. Okay. I've got a medium FS9 regolith compact shield extender. So due to my skills, I'm able to squeeze this into this frigate. So it's going to give us some pretty monster. That's meant for like a battle cruiser. So it's going to give us some really strong shields for our ship. Then we have the Pythium C-type EM shield amplifier. Neg 36% EM damage resistance bonus. Okay. And a small compact PB acid cap battery to extend my capacitor, I suppose. Show me info on this. Increase the EM resistance of ship shields at the expense of increased signature radius. Okay, the reason I want to look at that is because up here under skills, if I go over to shields, 5% bonus to EM resistance per level for shield amplifiers. Shield amplifiers specifically. This is a reinforcer, not an amplifier. This is a booster. This is an extender. This is an amplifier. So it would be good to have that skill. It'll directly impact this. And it's 5% per level, so that's going to be a 25% increase. Okay. Okay. Well then, how are we doing for money? I've got 31 million on me. I recently insured the ship as well. So next, because I'm wanting to run missions, I want to be smart about who I run for. And I had to research how to do that, but I did learn how, so we're going to go through that real quick. We bring this up. No, I'm sorry. Messed up already. We did not bring this up. Where are you at? Right here, the agency. And we click on agents and missions, and then mission agents. And then for me, I'm wanting to do security agents. This is the most common for people who run missions. You can see I'm at level 2 missions right now. But in order to find out how to do this in a smart way, you want to use this filter system. You want to find out what company do you want to run for. So let's clear all of this out. Now, I don't know everything about this, but I know some things. So I'm going to share what I do know. You want to be efficient with mission running. In order to be efficient, you need usually people make their homes at one of the major trade hubs for whatever faction they're flying for. So you need, for running missions, kind of a home away from home, a temporary setup place, but you want that to be pretty close to where the trade hub is, because you're gonna gain loot and salvage and all that, and you're going to need to make trips every now and again to go sell all that stuff. And if you're trying to be efficient, you want to keep those trips short. So the first thing that we would do is we want to go to wherever we're going to make our home station at. For me, it's Jedha. That's the Caldari trade hub. It's the biggest trade hub in the entire game. Everybody comes here. So I'm in Jedha, and that's my home station. So then the next thing I want to do is I want to start scouring mission givers, agents that are nearby. So a good number that I've seen used online before is within 5 jumps. Okay, so we have all these guys that are within 5 jumps. And they're not filtered down for what level they are or where they're at, how dangerous the space that they're in, or anything like that. It's not filtered down by system or by level of agent or by the corporation that they're with. None of those filters are in place. We don't really know at this point who we want to fly for, but we maybe know who we don't want to fly for. And a good general rule of thumb that's been in existence for a long time, I don't know if it's relevant anymore, but I think it is that you don't really want to fly for the Caldari Navy, because the Caldari Navy is going to send, unless you're playing on a faction warfare alt, because Caldari Navy is going to routinely have you going after and gunning down Gallente military ships, and that's going to wreck your standing with the Gallente. So now whenever you want to travel across the entire universe and you got to go through Gallente space, you could get gunned down by their sentry, their military, their gatekeeper military, because you're considered an enemy to their state. They have you flagged, right? So you don't typically want to run missions for the Caldari Navy, because they are going to give you a lot of missions to go kill Gallente. And when you turn a mission down, if you do it once, that's okay, but now you're locked out from taking another mission from that agent for a little while. There's a timer. I forget how long. So now you're going to go hunt down another agent. But if you turn them down twice, you start taking heat from them. They start getting upset with you. So we want somebody with the Caldari. So that's the next filter that we're going to set up. We're going to go down here to, well, it should have been C. Yeah, there it is, Caldari State, because I'm Caldari, right? And so we're going to set faction filter for Caldari State. So we have all these different companies, these corporations that we can choose from. So the next thing that you want to do is, in my opinion, there could be better ways to do this, but I want to limit this to high sec. High sec space only. I'm a Care Bear. I ain't ready for low sec. I'll get ganked. I'm terrible at PvP. I wouldn't mind joining a corporation one day and learning how to tackle or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. But I need somebody to teach me that. I don't know how to do it myself, and I have never been competitive in a PvP scenario in this game because I don't know what I'm doing. So I want to be in high sec. So now we're filtered down to just high sec, which is going to be 0.5 and above, if I remember. It might be 0.6 and above, but I think it's 0.5. I don't see any 0.5 listed here. It would be orange. Here it is. It's yellow. 0.5. 0.4 must be orange. So 0.5 and above is high sec. Now you can still get ganked in these places, but it's a little bit more risky for the ganker. All right, so the next thing then that I want to do is I want to look at level 4 agents. Because I'm assuming that they're going to be less numerous than level 1. And I want a system that in one system, I have a level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4, and preferably multiples of each. Now that's hard to find. That's like the golden unicorn. So you're usually not going to get all of them, but that's what you're shooting for. That's like the platonic ideal of a mission hub. So we're filtered to level 4, and I'll just kind of make a note of how many of these reps are in one system and what corporation do they represent. So this is where it's going to require you to use some memory, right? It's like the game of memory. So we got Muvalalan, Ancilla, Futananen, Kakakela, Josamito, Para. Okay, so Para leads right now because they have 2 matches. Para is in the lead. But if you notice, they're 2 different corporations, so actually scratch that. They're both in Para, but they're 2 different corporations, so that's not what I'm looking for. Malkalan, Kaiman, Isikimi, I probably butchered that name. Unpass, Poignan, Laikuri, Kusamanman. Okay, here's 2 that are in Kusamanman. Caldari Constructions and Suka Vesta Corporation. So again, they're 2 different corporations. Ua Misaisen, Norvikaiken, Isakano. Didn't I see another Isakano up here somewhere? No, it was Isakimi. Okay, here's 2 Isakano. They're both of House of Records, so that's a winner. So we'll keep a mental note of that. Ushikoni Watch. No, that's Kurama. I'm sorry. Kurama Mitsulan, Oma Highland, and both are for Corporate Police Force. So Corporate Police Force and House of Records and Isakano and Oma Highland. We got a Naro. It's a different place, but I'm noting that it's another Corporate Police Force. So maybe it's close to here. It could be in the opposite direction. I don't know. Look, another Corporate Police Force. So that's an Antiri. Umaka Corporate Police Force. Wow. Umaka, Caldari Navy though. Tasabishi, Tsuguwa, Akanoinen, and then that's the end. and Ware Comey Peace Corps. Okay, that's probably like an Orwellian naming system right there. Peace Corps. When you're the Caldari, yeah, right. So I think I'm going to narrow down to the corporate police force because they have so many level 4 agents. So then down here under corporation, and this is just an initial foray for me, but it looks like this is who I was running missions for before, because 2.71 is not natural. That means I had to have done some work for him, I believe. So if we narrow down to corporate police force, they're all over the place, but they include 2 that are right here in Omahilan. So I want to note that. Now, do they have any other places that they're doubled up as far as the system? Inaro, no. Yeah, Waskison. There are 2 level 4 mission givers in Waskison. So then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down to level 3. And we're filtered down to corporate police force now, so it's a lot easier to look. Kakakela, Rufus, and Naro. Here's Omahilan and Isaziwa. So there's 1 level 3 in Omahilan. So Omahilan is so far looking pretty decent. It's got potential as what we would call a mission hub. Level 2. Kakakela. Kusamanman. Kaimon. So 2 in Kaimon, 2 in Kakakela. Inaro, Antiri, Umaka. Waskison again. Remember, Waskison had a couple level 4s, is that right? We're not even looking at level 5s. That's in Losec. Yeah, Waskison had level 4s. They did not have level 3s. But Omahilan has level 3s and level 4s. But they don't have level 2s. Okay. So then it's kind of a tie between Waskison and Omahilan right now. What about level 1 then? This really isn't relevant to me because I'm already on level 2. But here's one for Omahilan. Alright, so Omahilan wins. That's where I would go set up my trade hub. If I remember right, level 3 is the one that they were missing. No, it was level 2. Which is what I'm on, actually. Ironically enough. So we'll go run in Waskison. So that'll give me that basically I'll probably be using 2 not trade hubs but mission hubs. So we're going to go to Waskison. Did they have a level? Actually, I want to run 1 mission for level 1. Waskison did not have level 1, but Omahilan does. So I'm going to click this guy. He is in 0.7 space. I'm going to set destination. We're going to start right there, and then real quickly we're going to jump over to Waskison probably. But that's how I find out who I'm going to run missions for and where. So we'll undock. I already have rockets in my storage bay. Cargo bay. Alrighty then. Let's head on out. And this gives me a relatively safe way to just kind of climb back into the game and figure out what the heck I'm doing. One of the things that I forgot how to do is set what distance I want to orbit at. Well, I know how to set it, but I don't know what my optimal max flight range, 8,239. So would I set something like 8,000 as my optimal range? I just really don't recall how I'm supposed to do this. Because is max optimal? Normally that's not the case. What about these? Well, that's what it's looking at. Used with high power. So see, I'm gonna have to Google this because I don't recall how to do this. But if the maximum is 8,239 meters for the flight range, then me being set at 7,600 sounds like it's auto detected. That's what I think. So I'm going to leave it at 7,600. Okay, what level space am I in? I'm in 1.0.
Active.
Okay. Next jump.
Active.
We're in 0.9, headed for 0.8. I have platinum level insurance, but that will not come anywhere close to covering the costs if I lose this ship. So I'm really hoping I don't get potted out here by a ganker, because if I do, I won't have the money to replace this thing.
Warp drive active.
And that means I'll have to jump back into my Cormorant or something and run some low-level missions until I can farm up enough cash to get a fourth Hawk. Oh man, Abazon. I was reading the Book of Revelation earlier today, and there is an angel that's unleashed named Abaddon. So whenever I saw that name, my eyes got wide. The Hebrew name is Abaddon. The Greek name is Apollyon.
Warp drive active.
And I believe in Greek at least, it's the same root word that we get the word apocalypse from, if I remember right, because Apollyon translates to destroyer in English. Like this is not modern Greek. This is Koine Greek. This is the Greek that Alexander the Great spoke.
Docking permission requested.
Koine meaning common.
Docking
So when Alexander the Great
accepted.
conquered half the world, he spread his language. And so the world had a centralized communication system for the first time in history, as far as I know. Or maybe it was, I guess maybe it was the second time, depending on what kind of stuff you believe. But that was one of the big things that Alexander the Great brought. That wasn't like an expected benefit. He just was that he unified languages across a large part of the planet. Okay, so here we are, level 1. It's this guy, I believe. Let's look at his info. Make sure that he's with the right corporation. Where's your name? Member of Caldari State. Corporate Police Force Assembly Plant. Okay. So that is the dude. So we're going to run one mission for him. Oh, well, I guess I'll be running 5 missions for him. All right, we're receiving a rather garbled transmission. We can't tell who it's from, but it is damnably close to a Navy distress call. It's not certain, but I'm not going to be the one sacked for not responding quickly to a call from our boys. Fly out to these coordinates and see what's going on. Take out any hostiles. All right, right here. Declining a mission from a particular agent more than once every 4 hours may result in a loss of standing with that agent, except in the case of special missions that clearly state otherwise in their description. Okay. So who are we fighting? Eliminate hostiles. We really don't know who we're fighting. So what I want to do now is I want to Alt-Tab. This is what I brought Eve's Survival up for. I want to look up Fair Play. I think it was called To the Rescue. Fair Play. I haven't used this in quite a while. Dread Pirates, data, mission reports, Fair Play. Faction, Rogue Pirates. Okay, so it's what I'm wanting to ensure here is that they're not Gallente, basically. I don't want them to be any of the 4 major factions, so Rogue Pirates is fine. I'm not too awful concerned about any extra information because I think we'll be just fine. Like, more than fine. This is a level 1 mission, so we're going to accept. But as I climb up in mission levels, I'm going to want to look more thoroughly at that stuff. Can't believe this game's 20 years old. It's fun to play. It still looks good, even though it's starting to look dated. But it's nice to look at, you know? It's not ugly. It seems a little bit dated, but how much more do you want, you know? So let's see, set destination.
Warp drive active.
I believe they were one of the first games to make really seriously good use of lens flares and the coloring of the abyss. Doggone it, I forgot what they're called, guys. The nebula. The nebulae. Maybe it's nebulae. I think it's nebulae. For plural. Alrighty then. Warp to location.
Warp drive
Lone
active.
Pirate, I knew one of you stupid newbies would fall for this. Now send me all of your ISK or I'll pod you. Wow, that's bold. Alright, let's turn on the turbo here, the amplifier, afterburner. Close distance rapidly. Cut it off. Open up one salvo. Yeah. That's all that was needed. Yeah, we just need to take out hostiles. There's no ship to investigate. We don't need to look for that guy was sending out a false signal. So we can set destination, we can return RTB.
Warp drive active.
So it's just kind of surprising to me that, you know, they pioneered these kinds of visuals. And this stuff was mind-blowing whenever they brought it in. And then a couple decades down the road and you look at it and you're still like, that's still pretty. I suppose it's like sunrises and sunsets. Does anybody ever really get tired of them? They're always gorgeous.
Warp drive active.
I want local up so I can see who pops in and out of these places.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
All right, so part 2 then. Because he's complaining about pirates that match the description you provided me. We routinely make mining operations to make some easy ISK. In high-sec area, it's fairly reliable, with the only real risk being rats from the bigger pirate factions. Most Capsuleer pirates immediately get the boot by Concord. This one pirate seems to be affiliated with neither and is being an enormous pain for one of our miners. We can't let this kind of behavior continue. Take that pirate out. Okay. Defend our miner from the pirate. Accept. Do they have an undock right here? They do not. Undock. So you saw, you know, we're just overwhelmingly powerful for these guys. It took one salvo. My guy's skills are so high that I had fired off a second salvo that wasn't even needed, so it's actually a waste of rockets. And his ship can't handle more than that one salvo, so I guess the easy way to say it is that we're one-shotting the enemies. So we're way overpowered for this level right now. Why don't you learn to fly a real ship? Okay, so the guy's coming in for the kill. Little does he know that a Capsuleer is on the way. How far out? 43 kilometers, okay. Let's get a close look at him. That's a Minmatar ship, isn't it? Oh, did he? I guess he blew the miner up. Fire. Oh, that guy took that fairly well. Let's open up 2 more banks. That's all she wrote. Imperial Hauler. Wreck. So I wasn't able to save the miner.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Alrighty then. What's he say? Drat. Oh well, miners are an Iska dozen. Okay, at least you took the pirate out. Request mission. Yeah, I do. Turns out these pirates knew each other. They're both in some upstart pirate gang. The name isn't important or creative enough to remember. They do, however, have a surprisingly robust roster. The ones we've been seeing are the less skilled of the bunch. But I've got a plan. It starts with you flying out to one of their mining ops and stealing their ore. There's a group of them out there mining vanadine. Just fly in, find their jet can, and take the ore from it. I know it sounds dangerous, but if you're quick about it, you should be fine. Alright. 10 vanadine. Vanadine, maybe. Accept. Undock. We're going into a 0.6 system. Set destination.
Warp drive active.
Okay, warp to location.
Warp drive active.
I think one of the reasons this is kind of appealing to me is that I'm looking forward to Starfield. And so I've been watching videos about that, and obviously that's a space genre game. So I think that the whole space thing is on the brain for me, you know. Oh. You, and you. Loot all. They don't have any security, huh? Alright, set destination.
Warp drive active.
I was expecting they might have some security hop in because it seemed like the mission was saying that was something we wanted to get in and get out on. But I guess not. Yeah, so with Starfield, I think everybody's just really hoping they don't bungle this up. So it is Bethesda, and
Warp drive
Bethesda
active.
has a long track record of releasing games that are initially very buggy. So that's not what we're talking about. That's expected, and we think that they also have a track history of fixing that fairly quickly. But they don't tend to
Docking
do it
permission
until
requested.
after it goes live.
Docking request accepted.
I think people are just hoping that Microsoft isn't going to influence them in a negative direction, or that they don't, turn into EA, where the whole microtransaction thing becomes a really, I guess, the money-making model. Okay, complete that mission. Ha! I wish I could have seen their faces. All right. So on to 4 of 5. We've stirred up the hive on this one. Reports are that the pirates are amassing a small fleet for action against us. Lucky for us, an informant has told us exactly where they're heading. We're going to be waiting for the bastards. They have a scout scoping the place ahead of them. Only he's not going to get to the final area. He's going to be jumped by some other pirate. You will be that pirate. The scout will be jumping through an old decommissioned jump gate. Take a position by the gate and wait for him to come through. Once he does, take him out. Okay. Accept. Undock.
Warp drive active.
So yeah, hopefully they're able to make a good game and there's not too much BS in it, because these days, I don't know, man, for the past, it seems like we're going on 10 years now. I don't want to get too much into it, but there's an orchestrated effort with a lot of money and political power behind it, operating in the background to get certain cultures of institutions of culture. So that's going to include
Warp drive active.
movies, like anything of the arts, and iconic brands, to get them to basically go woke, for lack of a better word. I know that can be kind of a nebulous term, but generally, unless you're being pedantic, most people know and understand what somebody means when they say something is woke, and so there just seems to be incredible coercion and financial incentive to do this. And there's a whole thing called ESG, which is a social credit score that is a system imported straight out of communist China. I don't know how anybody could ever fool themselves into thinking that that's a smart idea. Let's follow the authoritarians. Okay. So I don't know, we'll see, but the indicators that I've heard, and as we get closer and closer and more leaks come out, and there's even been some people who have had some sneak peeks, and they can't divulge any details or anything because of non-disclosure agreements, but they're reporting it's good. The game's huge, it's deep, there's a lot to do. I have a feeling that they're starting out with a really large canvas that's going to have a lot of stuff to do, but because it's such a large canvas, they have lots of room to add future content. So and that's what we're hearing from people that have seen a little bit. So the rumors are very positive. So I'm excited. And that's not normal for me. Typically, I'm somebody who, I don't think I would say I'm skeptical, but that's probably where it comes from, is it's learned behavior. I almost never pre-order a game. And my really typical mode of operation is to wait 3 months after a game has released.
Warp drive active.
And what that allows for me is it allows the game to kind of stabilize a little bit after launch day. And more importantly, it gives time for a large amount of YouTubers to start putting together their reviews of the game. A lot of times the big YouTubers are being sponsored by that corporation. Now, they're still free to give their honest opinion, and their reputation depends upon it, but I still have a hard time giving my full trust to somebody who's being paid by the very corporation that they're reviewing.
Warp drive active.
I don't hold it against them. It's just, I want to hear it from people. Well, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but people like me. I have a small channel. I'm not monetized on YouTube. That I have absolutely no reason to shill for anybody. And Bethesda isn't going to contact me with an offer. They don't know who I am. And when you wait for 3 months after a game's released, that gives time for that stuff to filter down and small YouTubers to pop up whenever you do a search query, you know. And I'm painting that picture to explain to you that for Starfield, I'm not going to do that. Starfield, I'm sitting here being like, try to wait 2 weeks. Now I think I'm down to try to wait a week. I'm probably going to buy it on day one. I will not pre-order. Pre-order, I think, that's your special packages, and they cost a lot more money, and I'm not enough of a fanboy that any of that stuff means squat to me, so that's wasted money for me. But day one, yeah, if the rumors keep coming in the way that they are, with the kind of tone that I've been hearing, I'm probably going to buy this game day one. All right, complete mission. That's exactly what I want to hear. Any minute now, the ambush will begin. All right, step 5. It's time for you to get your knuckles bruised. Our fleet is doing well, but there are more frigates than we were anticipating. I realize you probably haven't been in a larger ship yet, but it's actually hard for big ships to target frigates. The difference in size is too great. We want you to provide anti-frigate support. It's safer than you think. Most of the fighting will be far off. We just need you to eliminate a few of the pirates' frigates. The rest of the fleet will take care of itself. Okay. Targeting resolution. Ships are generally designed to counter ships near their own size. The larger a ship is, the more trouble it has targeting smaller prey. Yeah, see, we know this from the original Star Wars movie too. They talk about that. They talk about the X-Wing being fast enough that if they get in close, they should be too fast for the big guns to track them. Often frigate pilots exploit this, ganging up in groups called wolf packs to take down larger ships. Also in history, a really famous battle that illustrates this is, well, I don't remember what it's called, but it's whenever the English fleet of small ships defeated the almighty Spanish Armada. And that right there is the day that England became a world power. Like all of Europe was like, what? You know, so there's a real world example of how it works. The long targeting time and slower tracking of the larger ships makes taking down these wolf packs difficult. Often the best counter to wolf packs are other frigates, resulting in battles within battles. Yeah, that's cool. All right, accept. Undock. Close. Let's do this. Warp to location.
Warp drive active.
Reload all. I don't think I'm gonna need my afterburner just yet. Is that mission complete? Is anybody closing distance? Doesn't look like it. Ignore all other ships. There is one more. Oh, they left. There was one more small ship out there. Oh, but you know what? It was a DED ship, so that was one of ours. So I guess when we took out their support, the DED team was able to go in and just wreak havoc on their big ships. Some people will have another ship, usually a destroyer, because it's got so many turret points on it, and they will load that up with salvage and tractor beams. Well, they're one and the same. Salvage tractor beams. And they'll come out here and they will pull all of those wrecks in towards them and loot them for scrap. And that's another way that really starts to, when you're doing that and you can do it quickly, you're turning missions into a real money maker, because that combined with the accomplishment payment that you get, the contract, and the bonus whenever you do it quickly. And quickly in this game is real relative. Like, if you just do it that day, a lot of times, like, your window's pretty wide in order to get that time bonus. And all of those things add up together, and you can farm missions for some pretty good ISK per hour. And especially whenever you get the social skills going, like what I'm working on now. And that was another reason I forgot to explain that. But a reason that you want a mission hub is that you can run a whole bunch of missions out of one station, and you're improving. What's that sound all about? Doc.
Warp drive active.
Okay. You're improving your relationships, your status. What do they call that? Your reputation with that corporation, with all of the agents in that particular station. And that improves your payout.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
So when you have all those things going for you and you're salvaging on top of that, you're starting to make quite a lot of money per hour. Okay, complete. So we're not going to request another one. I just happened to get a chain mission from him, so we did 5 missions for him. But now what I want to do is I want to go to that mission 2 agent that I had located, because there is no mission 2 in Amalon. Yeah, so they're not even within 5 jumps anymore. They should be within 10. It was this place here. Yeah. Oh, you know what? There's 2 of them. I wonder if they're both in the same station. 9 jumps away. Set destination. We'll just go with this guy because he's first in the list, and that'll help me kind of remember. But there's a real good chance that they're in the same station, and we can pick up missions from both. And I don't remember whether or not we can double dip. Like, will they give the same mission, and then you go run the mission once, but you turn it in twice? I don't remember if that's a thing or not. But the whole idea is driving up your standings. And then as you do that, in addition to driving up what level missions you're doing, which means that you're also upgrading your ships, you know, so eventually I'm going to be in a battleship, for example. And then once you get to a point where you're running level 4s quickly, cleanly, and efficiently, all of those things add together and equal to pretty good payout. That said, I need to do more research to see if anything has changed, but abyssal farming is supposed to be better. And that's what my T3 or T2 Rocket Hawk is designed for. Bounty prizes also, I forgot about that. So we made about 300,000, it looks like. Maybe closer to 400,000 since I hopped on, and I haven't sold a single thing when it comes to loot.
Warp drive active.
Man, I
Warp
thought that
drive
was a laser
active.
bolt that came by, and I'm like, no, don't get ganked.
Warp drive active.
Torpedoes. I think these Arbalists are supposed to be pretty nice.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
What else do we have over here? Opportunities. Discover new opportunities and track your ongoing activities. Homefront operations. This is all new. What is this stuff about? Emergency aid convoy. How do I move my bar across?
Warp drive active.
Browse by career. Enforcer. Oh, wow. Raid Black Market? What is that? Clear filters. Soldier of Fortune. Combat anomalies, homefront operations. Corporation projects, I heard about that. Join a Capsuleer Corporation.
Warp drive
Agent
active.
missions. Open the agency. Okay. That's nifty. So it changes. It's telling you what stuff is available around your area. Ah, okay.
Warp drive active.
Okay, Waskisa 9. It's a logistics support station.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay, so they are in fact both in this station, or this is something I can't remember, or it's that as long as you're in the system, you can talk to anybody. So she might be at another station, but you're able to talk to her because you're in her system. I don't remember how that works. So we're going to talk to her. Actually, first I'm going to open my inventory and cells. This is something I'm not very good at yet. There's a lot of stuff that I've probably forgotten that I have to relearn, but for convenience sake, I just want to sell it. Oh, I can't. I have to move it. I think I have to move it over to item hanger.
The station honors all returning citizens from beyond the borders of our great state. Caldari, welcome home.
Okay, so some of this stuff isn't going to sell, but most of it will. You can see it's way low though. Yeah, so maybe I won't. Maybe I'll try and haul it all back to Jeddah. Alright, we'll keep it in the item hanger for now. Let's talk to her and find out how this ship and my pilot can handle level 2 missions. The cost of greener grass. We have a serious matter to deal with, Torvin Grimm. Very serious. One of our people has betrayed us and is planning to defect to the Gallente. No! Not the hated Gallente. It's not as if he knows anything particularly important, nor does he pose much of a threat. It's the principle of the thing, and the example this sets for others. Yeah, I agree. Like, we need to make an example of this guy. This particular traitor is fairly high profile, you see, which makes it difficult for us to act more openly. We've already lost enough people to the Guristas and the Legion, and if we start losing people to the Federation, who knows where it will end. I need this situation sorted. We have to send a message that any treacherous behavior against the state has consequences. We have been able to locate the traitor's temporary living quarters, which are still in state space and therefore under our jurisdiction. We have a small window of opportunity to act before he leaves for the Federation. Can you head over there and deal with this, Torvin Grimm? I don't want this fool making it to Gallente space alive. Okay, kill the Caldari traitor and his allies. Bring the traitor's DNA to your agent. Now, notice that this is against Gallente. Let's look it up and make sure. The cost of greener grass. The cost of greener grass. I don't know what that 2 means. And it is against the Gallente. So in this case, we want to decline. Now, she ain't going to be happy about that. Excuse me? You want to encourage this behavior? Your lack of loyalty is disconcerting, Torvin Grimm, not to mention the lack of foresight. But we won't lose any standing with her as long as we don't do it a second time. And that's why having a second agent here is really useful. Because otherwise, we're on a 4-hour timeout with her. So let's talk to him. And he's offering illegal activity. So before even reading about it, let's look it up. It looks like GA is Garista, I believe. 4, 3, 2. Man, I don't know which one this is. crap. Galente again. Ah, shiznit. Well... a no can do, amigos. Gotta decline. Alright, so we can't work here. So that means I have to look up another level 2 agent. This time we're going to do within 5 jumps. Current station, current station. This guy is 1 jump away. I already killed some Galente earlier today whenever I first jumped on this and forgot about how this mission stuff works. And so I certainly don't want to double up on that because I took a hit to my faction rep with them already. Okay,
Warp drive
here we go.
active. Warp drive active.
Oh, I left all my goodies over there. I put all that stuff into the item hanger.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay, level 2 security. Show info. Yep, he's with the corporation that we're with. Well, I'm not with them, I'm just working for them. This is an assembly plant. Stop the thief. Okay. What the heck do these 4s and 2s and 3s mean? Recommended ship class cruiser. Mercenary. Normal space. Micro warp drive does work. Kill the thief. Take reports. Warp out. Okay, is that what all of them say? Kill the thief and get the reports. Category missions, category level 3. Oh, okay, so we are Stop the Thief 2. Category level 2. Alrighty, so it's an Angel Interceptor and Mercenaries, so this one's good to go. So we will accept. And then I'm sure as you get more and more familiar with that, the less you'll need Eve Survival because you'll just remember which missions are safe and which ones will get you into hot water with one of the 4 major factions. Warp to location.
Warp drive active.
It's a neat looking ship. I actually prefer Gallente, but I've played so often as Gallente started and stopped characters and stuff like that, that I wanted to do Caldari this time around. Okay, we're getting hit kind of hard. Anybody in range? Not yet. You can see our shield is tanking stuff really well. And we are just a veritable machine gun here, shooting these rockets at a very high rate. Oh, actually, let's cease and desist on that guy. I'm not sure.
Module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges.
Alright, so far so good. I haven't felt the need to turn anything on as far as shield boost. Ah, this guy right here needs to be locked up.
A module
14
has run out of
kilometers.
charges.
I don't know how I'm getting out of range so fast. Oh, I think it's because I'm here. I think I'm flying away from him after I blow up the guy that I was navigating around. Look at how fast I'm able to recharge. And then just to show it off, I'll go ahead and boost our shield. still way cap stable, you know, so that's the skills of an Omega pilot. I've never experienced it before, and it's a difference maker. So I got the reports already. I guess I auto loot them. So remember that I believe that Eve Survival told us that this mission was built for cruisers, and I'm in an assault frigate, and we mopped them up, you know. So this sucker packs a punch and is very survivable for its weight class, and I guess that's why it can do Abyssal Tier 3s. Well, I still need to make sure about that because, you know, EVE Online's under different management, has a different parent company. Viridian has come out. Faction warfare is a big deal. Their changes have been made. So I haven't been in the game for quite a while. I don't know what's changed and what hasn't. So I do need to double check and make sure that Abyssal running is still viable for a moneymaker and that the Hawk can handle as much as I think it can. Ah, darn it. Just out of range. Okay, so I'm ping-ponging back and forth between a couple different targets. Okay. All right, we're out of here.
Warp drive active.
So, felt like that proved I can handle level 2 missions pretty good. I'm gonna run one more just to, I guess, make sure. But then I'm gonna be popping up to level 3. But all that said, I'm gonna go ahead and turn YouTube and Twitch off now. See you guys later. I am on Rumble. In fact, let me go to the Be Right Back screen. I'm on Rumble and I'm on Kick, and you can find those links at the top left and top right of this screen.